You press a button. 30 seconds later, your coffee is hot. No flame, no glowing coil, nothing seems to touch the cup. So what exactly is heating it? Inside this quiet box, something invisible is shaking your drink apart, molecule by molecule, billions of times every second. We are going to slice the microwave open and watch it happen in slow motion. No magic, just a clever trick with light you cannot see and water that cannot sit still. Here is the whole machine, peeled back layer by layer. The outer shell is painted steel, plain and boring on purpose. Behind the buttons sits a control board that just counts time. Follow the path inward and you reach a short metal tunnel called a waveguide. At the very heart, humming with high voltage, is the magnetron. That little cylinder is the engine of the entire device. It makes the invisible waves. Everything else just aims them, times them, and keeps them safely trapped inside. So how does the magnetron work? Picture a small ring of metal cavities with a hot wire at the center. Electrons boil off that wire and try to fly straight outward. But a strong magnet bends their path into wide, looping curves. As they sweep past the cavities, they make the metal ring resonate, the way blowing across a bottle makes a tone. That resonance pumps out a steady stream of radio waves, about 2.45 billion wiggles per second. Same family as light, just far gentler and longer. Those waves cannot just leak out everywhere. They are funneled into the waveguide, that short metal tunnel we saw. It works like a hallway for light, reflecting the waves along its walls and steering them into the cooking chamber. The chamber itself is a sealed metal box. To the waves, those shiny walls are a perfect mirror. They bounce off the top, the sides, the floor, crisscrossing the empty space again and again. Your food sits in the middle of this invisible, churning storm of energy. Now the secret. A water molecule is lopsided, slightly positive on one end, slightly negative on the other. It behaves like a tiny magnet with a plus side and a minus side. The microwaves are an electric field that flips direction billions of times a second. Each flip yanks every water molecule around to face the new way. Flip, 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 faster than you can imagine. The molecules tumble and twist, frantically trying to keep up with a field that never stops switching. All that twisting is not free. As the water molecules spin and bump against their neighbors, they drag and jostle, and that friction becomes heat. This is the whole trick. The microwave does not warm your food the way a fire does, from the surface inward. Instead, it stirs up water molecules everywhere the waves reach, so heat appears throughout the outer layers at once. That is why a cold pocket can hide in the middle while the edges are already steaming hot. So why does the plate often stay cool while the food burns your fingers? Simple, the plate is dry. Glass and ceramic have no loose, lopsided water molecules for the field to grab and shake. The waves pass right through them, almost ignored. The same goes for most dry, fatless solids. Only the water, the fats, and the sugars really dance. So the plate is not heated by the microwave at all. It only gets warm later, borrowing heat from the food resting on top of it. But the bouncing waves cause a problem. When waves reflect back and forth in a sealed box, they overlap and form a fixed pattern called a standing wave. In some spots, the waves add up and the energy is fierce. In others, they cancel out and almost nothing happens. These hot zones and dead zones sit in roughly the same places every time, leave food still, and one bite scalds while the next stays icy. The microwave field is not smooth. It is a lumpy, frozen ripple. This is where the humble turntable earns its keep. Since the hot and cold spots stay put, the easy fix is to move the food instead. The rotating glass plate slowly carries your meal through the pattern, so every part takes a turn passing through the fierce zones and the dead ones. Over a minute, the heating evens out. Some microwaves skip the turntable and instead spin a small metal fan near the top, stirring the waves themselves to smear the pattern around. Now, why the warning about metal? In a fork or a crumpled foil edge, the wave's field pushes electrons racing through the metal. At a sharp point or a thin gap, charge piles up until it leaps across the air as a spark. Do that long enough and you get arcing, even fire. A smooth, thick metal wall is fine, which is why the box itself is metal, but thin edges and points are little lightning rods, so they stay out of the microwave. Look closely at the door and you will see a metal mesh full of tiny holes. That screen is doing serious work. The microwaves are about 12 centimeters long, far too wide to slip through holes that small, so they reflect back inside as if the door were solid steel. Visible light, with its much tinier waves, passes through easily, which is how you watch your food spin. The whole box is a cage that lets you see in but keeps the energy locked away. Let us trace the whole path one more time. You press start and the magnetron wakes up, turning electricity into invisible waves. The waveguide funnels them into the sealed metal box, where they bounce and form a standing pattern. Those waves grab the lopsided water molecules in your food and flip them billions of times a second. The twisting becomes friction, the friction becomes heat, and the turntable spreads it evenly. A simple chain, hidden inside a box you use every day. Next time the box hums and the plate turns, you will know the secret. Invisible light, shaking water until it cannot help but warm. No flame, no coil, just a clever trick repeated billions of times a second. If you liked watching this everyday machine get sliced open, stay close. There is a whole world of ordinary things hiding extraordinary tricks, and we are just getting started. Thanks for watching The Cutaway.